Welcome to another Q&A video. Today I took the question from Sandeep Kadam, and he wrote me on Twitter, what is process and how you do chart study on weekend? I think this is one of the important part of discipline, and he's right about that. So thank you very much for the question, but I want to cover the topic a little bit wider. So not only about chart study, but I want to explain you how my weekend routine is and what I do at the weekend about my trading. So my weekend routine usually starts on Friday or Saturday, so it depends a little bit on my time schedule and it depends a little bit on the market. So when there is a very strong reversal on Friday, for example, in many stocks or in the markets, then I start my weekend routine on Saturday, so that I let all the stocks close for the week, and then I go through all my stock screeners. But if it is a not so volatile week and more a calm week, I can easily start on Friday during the market, and I always start with going through my stock screeners. And I have several videos about stock screening here in my YouTube channel, so you can watch them if you want. I usually screen stocks for technical criteria and fundamental criteria in MarketSmith, and I go through all my screeners. So that's around, I would say, 300 to 500 stocks. And it takes me, I would guess, 30 minutes. So not so much. And it takes me 30 minutes because I have a lot of experience. So I do that for years now, and I do always the same thing. I know that beginners needs more time, but if you gain more experience and more practice, it will become much easier for you. And I really flip through the charts, and I look at the weekly charts, and I look for consolidations and chart patterns, and I also look left and right at the fundamentals. So that means at sales growth, at EPS growth, and also EPS estimates. And then I really add them to my main watch list. So I do not so much stock selection in that phase, but I only add them to my watch list. And usually I have around 35, sometimes more, sometimes less stocks on my watch list. So I would guess that takes me around 30 minutes with a lot of experience. And then on Saturday, I go through the main watch list and I remove all weak stocks. And weak stocks, I mean technically weak stocks. So stocks which are below the weekly exponential moving average 13, stocks which had failed breakouts, stocks which are in a downtrend, stocks which acted very poorly during the last weeks. So technically weak stocks, I remove them. So because I only want to look at the strong stocks of the market. And I also remove stocks where I see less potential. And of course, that also takes experience, and that also needs a little bit of a gut feeling. So I know so many names and so many companies, and I have the stories in my mind, and I also look at the fundamentals and look at how the sales growth developed during the last quarters, and where is the company in its life cycle, etc. If you go into my YouTube channel, you will find a lot of videos about that. Story research, a lifetime cycle of a company, etc. And because of my experience, that does not need so much time. So I would estimate that I need around 1 hour for that, to sort out all the weak stocks and to think about the stock. And at the end, I'm coming out with a main watch list. I would guess around 30, 35 stocks. So depending on the market and depending on the stocks of my watch list. But this is a very a very important step. So because on Friday, so in step 1, I'm a little bit wider and I want to add more stocks to my watch list, and then I try to focus it and try to really build a core watch list with strong stocks technically and fundamentally. And on Saturday and on Sunday, that also depends a little bit on my time schedule, I'm doing story research. So, and I'm only doing story research about companies which I don't know. So because I have so many companies in my mind and I know the story and I know what they are doing, etc. And I only do story research on new companies which I don't know or where anything changes dramatically and I want to get up to date with the story, etc. And story research always starts with the investor relation website. So I flip to the last quarterly earnings presentation. I listen to interviews and also look at the corporate presentation. I try to find out what are they doing, what are their products, etc. And then I also go on Google and on YouTube and listen to interviews with a CEO or CFO. I try to find out or to get an impression about the product, etc. And of course, that needs experience. That needs, a little bit like a feeling for companies, gut feeling. And that also needs a little bit of passion. So I have my passion in especially that part, so story research, and I also have a lot of knowledge about software companies and about technology companies. So this is my niche. So I have not so much knowledge about biotech or medical or classical stocks like bank stocks or oil stocks or whatever. So I'm more doing technology stocks, and this is my personal niche and where I feel comfortable and where I have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge about that. And that's why it's a little bit easier for me to do story research and to separate high potential stocks from lower potential stocks. And I also built my focus watch list on Saturday or Sunday. That means I put the stocks where I expect to enter them in the next week. I put them on a watch list, and I also set up alarms in TradingView or in my brokerage account so that I get notified when they trigger the levels where I want to enter. And the focus watch list is mostly around 5 stocks. So very often less than 5 stocks, because I do not get so many names where I expect an entry in the next week. And these are the stocks which I really monitor very, very closely, and also think about how much I want to buy and maybe also calculate position sizes for that. Yeah, that's my weekend routine. And for the last part, so for number 3 here, I would guess it takes the most time, so around 2 to 3 hours, so depending a little bit on the stock, but it also depends on my own time schedule. But that's where my passion is. And sometimes I have a little bit more time and sometimes I have not so much time. But when I don't do my weekend routine, I notice it during the week, because it takes much more effort for me, and it also takes a little bit more energy to make decisions. And I always prepare all the decisions which I have to take during the week at the weekend. And I would guess I would guess I do 90% of all my work at the weekend. And during the week, I only enter orders, watch stocks, and change or update orders or something. But I don't do so much story research or chart analysis during the week. So that's really weekend work. When the markets are closed, I'm very focused. Don't feel so much pressure about that. And again, so when I did not have my weekend routine and I leave it out for 1 week, I notice it during the week, because it takes much more pressure and it takes much more energy to make decisions. And this is why my weekend routine is so much important for me. But again, you cannot compare that if you are a beginner with me, which I have more than 13 years experience in the stock market. So, and it takes not so much time for me to go through hundreds of stocks or doing story research or chart analysis or something. So I look at a chart and I see the most important volume patterns and chart patterns, which I look for years and years and years. So, and everybody can reach that. So, and that is if you practice it. And a weekend routine is important to practice it. So always do the same steps again and again. So I hope that this answers the question and also gives you a little bit insight about my weekend routine. You can follow me here on YouTube and also give me feedback or ask questions via the comment functionality, or you give it a thumbs up or down if you like, or if you like or not like the video. You can follow me here, of course, on YouTube or Twitter, but I personally always recommend to subscribe to my free newsletter. So I send it out every Sunday with trading tips, and you also get my free ebook, my personal 25 lessons of the stock market, as a free gift if you subscribe to the newsletter.